Dustin and I want to share why we started our channel and give some advice along the way as well.
We wanted to start this channel because the church wasn't having conversations about healthy dating. And when we were single, we were looking around, who do we listen to? Because culture was like, hey, flirt, manipulate, take what you want.
Yeah.
Just body count through the roof. I was like, I don't want that. The church was silent. And then also, like, my father didn't teach me how to find a wife. So because I didn't know how to pursue, I became a passive man in the process.
Honestly, I felt like I was raised on Disney Channel where, I mean, their stuff is terrible. It's all about just following your emotions, just doing what feels good. And it doesn't matter if you're faithful, just be true to yourself. And you're not really being true to yourself because you're leading yourself down a path of misery, of heartbreak, manipulation, like you said. It's just not healthy whatsoever. So we wanted to be a voice of healthy, godly dating, give Christian dating advice.
Yeah, because when we were in our 20s, we had a lot of our friends get married, and then it almost feels like they move on and you're just stuck in this singleness all alone. You're like, oh my gosh, I just wish they would have gave me a helping hand. Okay, how did you do it? Give me advice.
Yeah, I mean,
help a brother out.
I had a friend, and she's an amazing friend, but the only thing I got from her was, well, I'm just glad I'm past that season. Wow, thank you. I'm in the midst of this wilderness. It's hard. You know, no one's asking me out. Someone finally asked me out. 20 years older than me. I didn't know that. You know, it's hard.
I believe this channel can be a place for the body of Christ to start a conversation, to start a community, to help single people navigate this wilderness with wisdom. Because I think throughout every season of life, we are designed to thrive through it, designed to live fully alive in Jesus. And you can do that. Dating has become the means of finding a spouse. And culture has gravitated to very destructive behaviors in the dating process. And I think largely because the church hasn't spoken to this place, the church dating culture has latched onto the world's dating culture.
Or just no culture, nothing. Just don't date. Just kiss it goodbye. And that was not helpful advice either.
But if you don't date, how do you ever find a spouse?
Right. And the church talks so much about marriage because there's so many broken marriages. And I just wish that they would talk about dating so that people are set up for success.
The way you do singleness can set dating up to be a success or a struggle. And the way you do dating can set marriage to be a success or a struggle. The same thing. There's wisdom for every season.
We are trying to give you practical, helpful advice, tips to guide you through the wilderness and hopefully lead to an intentional, loving, godly, wonderful, fulfilling marriage.
The biggest advice you can take away is stay close to Jesus. Jesus is the vine. We are the branches. Apart from him, we can't bear fruit. He is the tree of life. He's the living water. He's the bread of heaven. We gotta abide in him in every season. Like, he's the one who gives us life, satisfaction, joy, all these things. So as we start a conversation, as we start a community, a channel, around healthy dating, healthy marriage, what would be your concluding thoughts?
I want people to know that you're not alone in this wilderness. You're not alone in the dating season, that God does have a plan for you, but even still, it's hard to maybe know those plans or even trust them in this season, but you're not alone. We have been there, and we're not leaving you behind just because we got married.
You get to a place in singleness where you wonder if the wait is worth it. And we've had this conversation time after time. Like, looking back on it, I could not see the story God was writing, but I am so thankful I didn't stop praying. I didn't stop seeking him, stop trusting him in the waiting, because it's so good. Jesus is so good, and he's faithful over your life, and he's faithful over the desire, dream, hope, and promise of love that he's put in your heart for marriage.